Okay, so I think the live is up and running, and we can see some of our refuelers in the air. It's my second attempt doing this because earlier I had no exterior sounds when I would hit F2, and now we actually hear the engines, so we're good. We can also hear the sounds in cockpit. So yes, I've made another mission with my template where we're going to be able to go launch some Mavericks at moving BMPs. We can see them there, and they're actually moving already. Then we'll be able to drop JDAMs on some camouflage trucks in the woods there, and maybe hit some parked trucks. There are some AAAs there in an unknown MANPADS position somewhere in that area, so we'll have to be careful. There could also be some enemy SAMs that will be bothering us during the mission. So that should make it fairly interesting. Not too much air-to-air, but mostly worrying about who could shoot us from the ground. So it's late day, and again I'm using my Spanish F-18s with the Tiger Squadron. And this is the position at the base where I've made like a nice enclosure for their planes, and figured I'd start this mission since I'm all alone next to one of the parked planes near the Spanish C-130 that's right there. And so yeah, let's go fly because it's late in the day, so we don't want to fly too much in darkness, although it could be fun when we come back at the end of the mission to have a little bit of it. So let's turn on our systems. The lights are on here. I think I have a center line on this one, right? If you look, there it is. So center line, switch that, put it in a ready position, and of course we'll get rid of the stick. Start this, put this on bypass, turn on our SA page, data link on. Get all that good stuff up and going. Got our flight plan here. Go to our stores. For the Mavericks, I guess we'll have to do it probably in flight. I like to turn the weapon cameras zoomed in as much as possible. Can we do it from here? Doesn't look like it. So we'll let the Mavericks warm up because we're going to use them first. And I think that's where we need to be for now, so let's taxi. Looking at the helicopter flying by. Still patrolling. Adds a little life to the mission when you have things moving around. some ground crews here ready if we ever need to come back and rearm. So nice having rudder pedals with those toe brakes. Makes taxiing that much easier. We're airborne, gear up, flaps up. Center rudders like that. And we'll make a left turn. Is that one of the tankers there? It looks like I had an object in the sky, I thought. Huh. Maybe I just imagined it. Oh no, there is something there. It's probably the tanker. But since we just took off, I don't think we're gonna need the tanker. And it's not the most long flight I've made, so we'll get to enjoy the nice lights of the beginning of the evening. Kind of interesting situation there with the changing light conditions. Our airfield right there. I'm going to try to set the plane at about 16,000 feet, which is where we need to go. Like that. Alright, so I wanted to check my Mavericks. You have to be in air to ground to be able to do it. Yeah, there we go. FOV, step FOV. So that'll be ready when I need to use it. reduce the brightness of the HUD just a little bit so it doesn't tire our eyes too much. I'm checking the same thing for the helmet mounted display there. Seems all good. 14 miles from our IP. Let's look at our waypoints here, and if we look at the map there, we're getting close to the border. So we might as well turn those lights off, since we're not flying formation and nobody else needs to see us here. Set my speed at about 400. I'll put the auto throttle on, and then we'll get ready to switch waypoint and go hunt for those moving vehicle. And switching to steer point 2. In the Hornet, it's actually waypoints. It's the Air Force and their F-16s that call them steer points. Or the F-15, which I haven't flown in a while. Maybe I'll make a version of this mission with an F-15. That could be fun. Although we never got like Mavericks for that one. So we can see that our plane has the 2 Mavericks, 2 JDAMs. We've got 1 AMRAAM, the other side has the targeting pod, and we've got sidewinders on the wingtips, but we'll probably not need those. Hey, look at this. That'll make a nice screenshot. And let's go back, because now we're going to need to start looking for the targets. We're 18 miles out. We're going to switch in air to ground. We'll put our radar on GMT. We'll set the right MFD as our soy. Let's take the one to the right first. And if I switch now to the left, we should see the missile go on the target. We're still a good distance from it, so it probably won't be able to get a good lock right away. Let's try that again. A new lock. Now we're within about 10 miles. We can see here the vehicle moving. Now if I switch to the missile, now it's gonna get a lock, so let's just turn autopilot off, point our nose at it, and rifle. And then we'll head in the opposite direction. One of the things I forgot to do was to I thought, okay, I did it, because I wanted to drop some flares, so it seems like they're working. Oh, and we have a nice explosion there in the back, so My guess is that we have our first target destroyed over there. Yeah, there is a fire on the ground. So we're like almost 14 miles now, so we're turn around, try to re-establish lock. I'm gonna set our right MFD as our soy. Back in GMT 20 miles. Bring the nose of the plane towards the targets. And we can see that now we're left with one target, so I guess the other one stopped moving. And we can see on the Mavericks camera there that there's one on fire. So let's switch to that camera, and it should be able to spot this target. Not quite. Does it have it now? I think it does. Okay, now we have a solid lock on it. And we can see it's moving along with it. 8 miles. Rifle. And again, we will drop some flares as we climb. We're gonna check that area here, see if we spot an explosion. Kaboom. And yes, there is a fire, so I guess that's my 2 BMPs destroyed. So I'm gonna head west. And then we'll set up for our JDAM attack on the camouflage trucks. So let's set our waypoint autopilot on. Switch to these weapons. I'm gonna now change from this to the HSI. I want to go to waypoint 3, and we will waypoint designate. And then we'll go to the FLIR, which probably right now won't be able to see it, but that's okay. We'll turn around. The bombs look like they're ready. We're at 11 miles. So yeah, our target is right behind us. I head north for a little bit. Just because I'm afraid if I go straight west I might overfly the MANPADS position. So if we check our map, you'll see what I'm trying to do. Here we know that our targets are going to be here. We've got MANPADS. So if I come like heading more like towards the south, there might be less of a chance for me to get in trouble, let's say. So we're gonna make it a slow turn. doesn't give me a really great advantage to turn in that direction because my targeting pod is on my left side, so it still can't see the target. I am going to change from CCD to FLIR though, because it's pretty dark right now. There's a few we're doing okay. And now we're going to head east. So I'm hoping to be heading like at about 180 when I get towards the targets, so that should be good. And we'll make a right turn after we drop. Looks good now. Let's set autopilot. And I think we've got our target there quite visible. It's these trucks and vehicles. So let's set it right on that truck there. And so we're in zone, bounce away, turning right. Now we're going to watch on television what unfolds. So it looks like they've got a bunch of trucks under camouflage nets and a little bunker, some infantry guys there. Kaboom. Oh yeah. Really looks like we've set most of them on fire. There's one running away there. This guy too. But the other one, the main ones, look like they're just all blowing up right now. Can we see it? Yeah, we can see the big fires there. So that's pretty good. What I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna go here, set my waypoint 4, waypoint designate that, and we'll try to go see if we can hit some of the targets there with our last bomb. It's getting pretty dark to risk a gun run, and as I said earlier, I know there's a MANPADS position, so we'll just go for dropping a bomb on a target. And as we can see here, there is a nice column of parked trucks. If I target the one in the center, maybe we'll be able to give this target maximum damage. So let's go try that. Let's target the one right in the center. And hopefully the splash damage will hit some of the other trucks. Position ourselves to maximize our hit chances on the target. And we are in zone. Bombs away. And drop flares again. Keep an eye on the road, but also for possible SAM launches. Okay, looks like there's a hit there. And there is some fire, so I'm just going to climb. And we're going to go try and see what the targeting pod sees. Yeah, lots of flames, lots of stuff on fire. Trying to go wide of the MANPADS. But yeah, that looks like a pretty successful hit there. Everything looks like it's burning. I think one moved away, but he's also smoking, so that's it. That's a successful strike right there. Great. So what we'll do now is we'll stop worrying about air to ground, and we'll go back to our navigation. So we'll head for our egress, which is 23 miles. Still have plenty of fuel. We can see where the first group of trucks is on fire here, and the trucks on the side of the road there. I don't think we'll see like the BMPs which were closer to the road here, because they're probably already burnt out. And that's fine. So what I'll do now is I'll speed up a little bit to get to our nav waypoint. Set my comms here. It's very hard to see. There's channel 2. Let's talk to the AWACS.
Magic 1-1, Chevy 1-1, request bogey dope. Chevy 1-1, Magic 1-1, clean.
So we are clean.
Magic 1-1, passing waypoint 4 at 27,000.
It is getting pretty dark now. Oh, be advised, SAM site going active in your area. Defend as needed. We are sending Sea Flight Pontiac 8-1 in your area. Okay, I don't have anything there. Let's see here if I put this on the EW page. Do we have anything? Yes, we have some emitters there. I just passed my waypoint, so I'm going to head back towards the base. So the emitters are in that direction. I am sort of beaming them, so if I keep them more or less at my 9 o'clock, should be fairly safe, I think. How are we doing on fuel? 7,000, that looks good. To remember for the flashlights, how do we turn on the flashlight? That would have been useful here, but I think this is my knob. Yeah, okay. Let's put it on the manual, and I want to get the tower. Gaziantep, and see if I can have them turn on the lights.
Chevy 1-1, inbound.
I'm getting pretty close, so let's start diving a bit towards the... okay, the field is there. Let's get our air brakes out. We're going to make a few turns just to lose some of that airspeed. We are high and fast, and we want to get to a lower altitude, put ourselves in position to land. Get the flaps down, get the gear down, and we'll get ourselves lined up. Gonna keep the air brakes out manually. I'm gonna use that little town there with the lights to line myself up on the runway, and then I'll check my degrees.
Altitude.
I want to be between the 0 and -5 degrees as I come in, And we can see that our speed is decreasing. Put our feet on the pedals. And now we're going to start adding power and putting these speed brakes back in. When it's dark like that, I kind of prefer coming in at a steeper angle, so we can't see just below us right now. And it is an F-18. You can give it a little bit of a US Navy landing. It's built tough. Gotta be careful though with all these lights. There are posts that you can hit, so I'm gonna go a little further down not to hit any of those. I remember the first times we played on the Syria map, we would land at airfields and hit those. Okay, that wasn't the prettiest landing, but it was efficient. Get the speed brakes in, flaps back up. There's not much to see in that light. Maybe I could turn on my own lights. I think I'll go park in one of the little shelters. So we get to see our usual vehicles and things, but in a different light. Or lack of light. So we will take number 4 right here. How does that look? It's looking pretty good. Let's drop it right there. Ask the ground crew to put the wheel chocks.
Chief, place the wheel chocks. Copy. Wheel chocks are now in place.
Wheel chocks are in place. Let's do our lazy shutdown, and I guess we'll call it a successful mission. So as everything shuts down here, Let's go check F-10. So these enemy SAMs here earlier that they started emitting, but they didn't fire at us, so that's kind of good. I don't know if the seed plane did anything. We can see that this is there. I don't know. Maybe the seed plane got shut down. So in this area, yes, this truck was damaged, but it moved away. Same thing for this one. Here there probably isn't much left. What if we click on one of those and go F7? Yeah, we won't see much, but we do see some fire here, so that's probably like what's left of the fuel truck and some of the other ones. And whoops, I wanted to go back to this here. So apart from sandbags, there is not much left alive there. And for the the park trucks, we saw the 4 on fire, and this one is almost dead. So cool. We didn't get hit by the MANPADS. We didn't get engaged by these SAMs. Although, like, because I don't see Pontiac 8-1, maybe Pontiac 8-1 got in trouble here. But that's out of our hands, I guess. And how about those guys? They're coming in to land the F-16s. You can see the airfield in front of them. These were the AWACS escorts. And we're here. So I hope you enjoyed another nice little Tiger flight with the Hornet from Spain.